12 for 13 from the free throw line, 22 points. The future #1 NBA draft pick is playing the game of his life. But AJ Dybantsa wasn't celebrating. He was fighting for survival. July 4th, 2025. Canada had just taken the lead against Team USA, the same Canada that had lost 29 out of 31 times to the Americans, the same Canada that usually got blown out by 20-plus points. But this wasn't usual. For 38 minutes, Canada had cracked the code that every team tries and fails to execute against Team USA. They weren't just competing, they were winning. Here's what nobody saw coming: the 3 tactical adjustments that almost ended American basketball dominance, and why the Americans' response in the final 4 minutes reveals the exact difference between talent and championship DNA. This is the story of how Canada almost pulled off the impossible. Here's what makes this game insane. Canada had every reason to believe they could win. July 4th, 2025, Lausanne Arena, Switzerland. Quarterfinals of the FIBA U19 World Cup. On one side, you have Team USA, fresh off a dominant 140-67 destruction of Jordan. Not a typo. On the other side, Canada. But here's what the 29-31 head-to-head record doesn't tell you. This Canadian team was different. They'd gone unbeaten in the classification stage. They had balanced scoring from multiple players. And coach Ramon Diaz had installed a pressure system that was creating havoc. The stakes were crystal clear. The winner advances to face New Zealand in the semifinals. Loser goes home. But here's the tactical setup that changed everything. Canada wasn't trying to slow the game down and grind it out like most teams do against USA. They were going to pressure every possession, turn defense into offense, and make this a track meet. If they could speed up the Americans and create chaos, maybe they could pull off the upset of the tournament. Let me introduce you to the characters in this basketball drama, because every great story needs compelling players. For Team USA, AJ Dybantsa was the crown jewel, projected #1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. Then you had Mikel Brown Jr., Morez Johnson Jr., and JJ Mandacuit, a supporting cast that could start for most college teams. But Canada had their weapons that nobody was talking about. Jordan Charles was their floor general, a playmaker who could score and distribute. Tristan Beckford was their sharpshooter with deep range and clutch confidence. Jayon Pitt brought that ice-cold composure you need in big moments. And Efiosa Oliogu was their Swiss Army knife, could do everything on both ends. Here's the tactical battle brewing. USA's strategy was textbook. Use superior athleticism to attack the paint, draw fouls, and let their talent take over in crunch time. It had worked for decades. Canada's plan was revolutionary for this level. Full court pressure from tip to buzzer. Turn every USA possession into a battle. Create turnovers and convert them into fast break points. Make the Americans uncomfortable and see if their composure would crack. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe, because what happens in the second half is absolutely insane. The third quarter opened with Canada doing something that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. They took the lead from Team USA. It started with a sharp 9-0 run that had the arena shaking. Beckford nailed a three-pointer, Charles found another seam and finished strong, and suddenly Canada led 63-61. Let me put this in perspective. Canada was leading the United States in a quarterfinal game. The pressure was now completely on the Americans. But here's where you saw the difference in championship experience. Instead of panicking, USA made a tactical adjustment that was pure basketball IQ. They started using free throw aggression to combat Canada's tight defense, drawing fouls and getting to the line. By the end of the third quarter, USA had retaken the lead 79-78, but they'd done it by getting to the free throw line consistently. Their defense also began trapping ball handlers, disrupting Canada's offensive rhythm. The tactical battle was fascinating. Canada was trying to create chaos and speed. USA was trying to slow it down and make it a free throw shooting contest. Both strategies were working, which set up an incredible fourth quarter. If you thought the first 3 quarters were intense, the fourth quarter was absolutely bonkers. The first 4 minutes alone saw 6 lead changes. 6! This wasn't just basketball. This was a heavyweight fight where both teams kept landing haymakers. Here's what made this sequence so special. You had teenagers playing with the composure of NBA veterans. Every possession was contested, every shot mattered, every rebound was a battle. AJ Dybantsa was starting to assert himself, using his size and skill to get good looks. But Jordan Charles was matching him shot for shot, making plays that had everyone taking notice. Morez Johnson Jr. was delivering on the hustle plays, rebounds, defense, the dirty work that championship teams need. Meanwhile, Canada's balanced attack kept them within striking distance. With 6:58 left, USA hit a critical and one that seemed like it might break Canada's spirit. This is where champions separate themselves from everyone else. With under 7 minutes left and the game hanging in the balance, USA did something that revealed their championship DNA. They stopped trying to match Canada's pace and started executing their game plan with surgical precision. The key was their approach to the free throw line. They began attacking relentlessly, drawing fouls and converting at a high rate. AJ Dybantsa was the catalyst. With the game on the line, this 18-year-old played like he'd been in these moments 1,000 times. He went 12 for 13 from the free throw line and finished with 22 points, but it was his composure under pressure that stood out. The final minutes were a masterclass in closing out games under pressure. Canada fought until the very end. Final score, USA 108, Canada 102. Canada fired on all cylinders and nearly forced the upset of the tournament. But in the end, USA's championship DNA, their composure under pressure, their execution in crunch time, and their ability to get to the free throw line when it mattered, carried them through. This wasn't just another win. This was a glimpse of basketball's future, where international teams aren't backing down from anyone. What impressed you most, Dybantsa's clutch free throw shooting or Canada's fearless approach? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into championship basketball, hit that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one. The semifinals are coming up, and trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.